Hi everyone, it's AngelBlade13. Welcome back to my Kingdom Hearts Final Mix walkthrough. In the last episode we met Donald and Goofy, and we're going to be exploring some different worlds. I forgot to sell the pretty stones that I got in the last episode, so I'll do that right now. These things like mithril shards and mithrils, we'll go over what you use them for shortly, but make sure you hold on to them for right now. When we're ready, we'll go to the save point and head to our gummy ship. Here we are on the world map. This is how we're going to be able to select the different worlds throughout the game. Currently, I have 2 worlds I could go to. One with a battle level of 1, and one with a battle level of 2. So we're going to be playing this in the intended order, so we're going to start off going to the battle level 1 world. So here we are flying the gummy ship for the first time. I can just move up and down. It's basically a short, roughly 3-minute auto-scroller. There's not a ton I can do right now. I have a break, and I have that regular weapon. We can upgrade it a lot. I'm not going to go super in-depth on that. This is more about completing the journal and getting the secret ending. So we've reached our first world, and it looks like it's Wonderland. So we'll disembark. I wonder where we'll land.
You're not funny and nobody likes you.
Oh, my fur misses! I'm late! Oh dear! I'm here! I should be there! Oh, I'm late! Oh, the Queen! She'll have my head for sure!
Alright, let's look around a bit. That looks like a green trinity. Nothing we can do in here right now, so let's follow that rabbit.
How did he get so small?
No, you're simply too big.
And clocks!
Must you be so loud? You woke me up.
Good morning.
Good night. I need a bit more sleep.
Wait, what do we have to do to grow small?
Why don't you try the bottle? Over there.
Well, let's take his advice and drink this bottle, if I can angle myself correctly. There. But first we want to push this bed in. So there's a doorway we can head through, and we'll drink this potion to shrink. Before we head through that door, we're just going to see what some of the enemies are in this world. At the moment, there are still the soldiers from before and shadows. Remember, we have fire as our only long-range attack option at the moment, so make sure you get good use of it. Now here we see our first new enemy. These are called Red Nocturnes. They float around and shoot a fire spell similar to yours. I just did that to show if you hit them with a fire spell, they will absorb it and it'll actually heal them. So stick with physical attacks for dealing with them for the moment. So nothing else to do in this room right now, so we'll head through that doorway and advance the story.
Court is now in session!
I'm on trial? But why?
Her Majesty, the Queen of Hearts, presiding.
This girl is the culprit. There's no doubt about it. And the reason is because I say so, that's why.
That is so unfair.
Well, have you anything to say in your defense?
Of course. I've done absolutely nothing wrong. You may be queen, but I'm afraid that doesn't give you the right to be so mean.
Silence! You dare defy me?
Hey guys, we should help her out.
Blah, blah, blah.
We're outsiders, so wouldn't that be muddling?
Blah, 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 blah.
Oh, yeah. And that's against the rules.
The court finds the defendant guilty as charged for the crimes of assault and attempted theft of my heart. Off with her head!
No! Oh, please!
Hold it right there!
Who are you? How dare you interfere with my court?
Excuse me, but we know who the real culprit is.
Uh-huh. It's the Heartland.
Anyway, she's not the one you're looking for.
That's nonsense. Have you any proof?
So it looks like Wonderland runs off of a guilty until proven innocent system. So we're gonna help out Alice and look for some evidence that she is innocent. So, as we were just told, there are 4 pieces of evidence that we can collect. We can find as much or as little as we want. The more we find, the easier the next portion of the game will be. So let's check in this alcove. There we see a blue trinity and a pink box. So this is our first piece of evidence. We can advance the story if we want, so you can skip to the card tower section, or you can just go back to the Queen's Castle and talk with the cards. I suggest you find the rest of the evidence. It'll make the rest of the world easier. Several of the flowers here will ask you for an item. They'll give you something back in exchange. I'm going to suggest for now, use the ones that ask for a potion since they're a lot easier to find. But hold off on the ones that ask you for ethers or elixirs. So checking this chest over here is going to give us our first set of Dalmatians. Someone put the dogs in that chest.
Dude, that's messed up.
So quickly checking the journal, now we have a section on the Dalmatians. It marks off the ones that you found, and hitting the triangle button will show what world has how many left. So if you're missing any, you can check that world. For the dog lovers watching, we will be collecting all the Dalmatians throughout this playthrough. Back this way, we have our second piece of evidence, and here's a jump that can be kind of tricky if it's your first time. So if you're having issues, do a keyblade swing near the top of the jump, and that can help you reach it. Otherwise, if you're really having issues with it, then we can come back much later when we have better movement abilities. With most of that clear, we're going to head through this exit. And it brings us back to the Bazaar Room, where we find the third piece of evidence. No enemies are showing up this time, so I'll just head back to the Lotus Forest. Quickly stop on the save point, make sure everyone's got their HP and MP back. So we're finally going to go for the last piece of evidence, which is the tricky one. We give a potion to this flower, and we're going to go back to our regular size. First, we're going to hop on this stump, and that allows us to reach another platform. And now we see we can hit this tree to turn it another direction. We want to leave it this way for right now, so we're just going to knock that fruit off of the branch, and we will eat it to shrink again. So now we're gonna go to that new platform that we just got access to. So that brings us back to the Bazaar Room, and we can get to this chest, which is the fourth piece of evidence. So getting this chest will make the rest of the world significantly easier. We get our second spell, Blizzard. So we'll quickly check in our customize menu, make sure you customize the spells to your playstyle. I'll quickly show you Blizzard. It's a close range attack, but it's a bit wider, so it basically functions like a shotgun, and that's going to be pretty helpful for some of the enemies in this world. So now we're finally ready to advance the story. As usual, stop on the save point. I'm going to make sure I have 3 potions. Don't want to use up high potions yet, save them for endgame stuff. But we'll go talk to this red card. Now we're going to present the evidence we found to the Queen. there's gonna be the boxes that you found, and then the queen will add her own in. So it's always going to be 5 boxes. The ones you found and the queen will make up the difference. When I get all 4 like this, I usually just pick the one in the center and I get the result I want. But the first box that hits the ground will be a Heartless, which is what we want. If you end up choosing the wrong box, then either Donald, Goofy, or Donald and Goofy will end up in a cage, and that'll make this next section a little annoying. But no matter which piece of evidence you choose, the queen will not be happy, and you will have to do this fight. So the cards are going to attack you, but your target should be the tower. You can target the cards, they will only be knocked out for a short period. If you need to, you can go target the queen and hit her with a fire spell. That'll make all the red cards stunned for a moment, but it's a pretty simple fight. Mostly just do air combos and use a potion if you need to. So during the fight, Alice got kidnapped. So the queen has some pretty bad security, but whatever. Let's stop on the save point and head back to the Lotus Forest. So now we've got another new enemy, the large bodies. If you use a physical attack on them from the front, it's pretty useless, so hit them from the back or just use magic, and that should take care of them pretty quickly. As you gain new abilities through the game, make it a point to try them out in random battles, and try not to test something for the first time in a boss fight. So, now you're going to see one of the real reasons Blizzard's very useful. Immediately takes care of groups of red nocturnes, and hitting them with it gets you tech points. So, fire enemies are weak to ice, and ice enemies are weak to fire. So I'm going to clear this room out again, and then I'm going to cut back for things that are new. So that's about it. If you want to advance the story, just head into this room, or skip to the Tea Party Garden section. I'm going to do some of the extra stuff now. So we want to give this flower a potion again to get back to our normal size. First, we're going to push this rock. And that gives us access to a new area. Now we're going to take this fruit down, but we're also going to strike the tree, so we want it facing the other direction this time. So now we can check out this new area. See, there's a blue trinity on the ground. You can check it when these enemies are dealt with. Now we'll check the exit here. This brings us back to a new section of the Queen's Castle. And we got another set of Dalmatians. So stop on the save point, and we'll go back into the Lotus Forest. Now we'll finally check what this branch did. Having it facing this way lets us reach a new platform, which gives us a new exit to the Bazaar Room. But this puts us on the wall.
Deep freeze!
And Donald just got knocked out. It begins. When your party member gets knocked out in battle, you can use a healing item on them, but they will also recover in a few moments. There, see, he's fine. Striking that latch helps us set something up for later. We're also going to examine that lantern, so you saw that painting got filled in. And we'll examine this one. And this chest gives us a defense up. These we can use from our stock, so I'm going to go select it, and I will use it on Donald. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to give it to Sora. That increases my defense by 1. By examining the painting, we can sort of sink into it, I guess. Looks like a white trinity here, so keep this area in the back of your head for later. We can give this flower a potion. It gives us a high potion in exchange. That's pretty fair for me, at least. So, we just saw Goofy got a new ability. Let's check. And I got an ability Slapshot. I can't equip it right now, so I'll hold off on it. Goofy got the ability Charge. I'm gonna replace it, Rocket with it. Charge lets him literally charge. It's a better attack on the ground, so we'll test that out for a bit. So we just saw Goofy use Charge. I'm just gonna clear this room again, so I will cut back in a moment. Alright, the room's clear, so now we're gonna go to this latch, which brings us to another section of the Bazaar Room. This is the other wall. So let's see what's here. I probably should have gone over this earlier, but just to explain Donald's offensive abilities, he doesn't gain offensive abilities the way the other characters do, but every time you get a new spell, that will be added to what he's able to do. So right now, he can mostly attack by using fire or blizzard like Sora can.
See ya!
With the room clear, I'm going to turn this faucet, and I can jump into that jar. Which lets me get another chest in the Queen's Castle. So now we'll head back into the main Bazaar Room. And I'm gonna exit here. When you see shadows surround the table like that, it means you're getting one of the Final Mix exclusive Heartless. So for those, I'm gonna save till later in the game when we have better abilities to deal with them.
Come on! Deep freeze! Deep freeze! Deep freeze!
So here I got pretty lucky with an equipment drop. I just got a fire ring, or fear ring, I don't know how to say it. In the last video I said a fire ring could be helpful for this world. It would decrease fire damage. This is the advanced version of that, so I'm giving it to Sora and giving Goofy the other protect chain. So, knocking that bear down let this book become real, and I can examine it for a mithril shard. And moving the bear to the other chair makes that clock pop out for some reason. And there's a new exit I can use. First, I'm going to go back to the first area we started in, though. And I can do a quick battle here.
See ya! Deep freeze! Come on! Deep freeze! Come on! Deep freeze!
Clearing this room, we get an extra chest. And we get a mega potion. So let's head back to the bazaar room and use that new exit. So entering from that exit in the bazaar room lets us come here, where we get a dark matter chest. If you entered from the Lotus Forest, you would come in at this entrance. Let's go take a quick look at this sign right here. After examining it twice, we can sit in these chairs. So you want to sit in the one right next to it. That's the best one. And we get a elixir, some money, and MP and HP orbs. This one right here gives us a bunch of money and a potion. We're gonna sit on all the chairs on the left side. Now, the middle chair on the right side and the chair at the head of the table will result in a battle, so make sure you get all the items you want before using one of those.
Deep freeze!
And another entrance to the bazaar room. This is a side we haven't been on. Why can't he just speak normally?
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
So in this room, the floor is sort of lava. If you don't want to fight these enemies, you can try jumping up on that ledge before you step out this way and just hopping to those tables. But I'm gonna fight these guys and do it the intended way.
Deep freeze!
Now we want to just jump up on the tables and turn these lights on, which sets up something for later. Now we'll release this latch, and there's another entrance to the Queen's Castle. For this chest, with a Thundara G. Now we'll step on the save point, and you should save because we have a boss fight coming up. Bit of an extra thing, we'll examine this flower. We get 2 potions and a mithril shard. Hop up the table and just check your items here. I'm gonna, again, make sure I only have potions on Sora. If you want, you can give Donald or Goofy a Mega Potion, which tends to work a bit better with them because they don't immediately use it on themselves. And for Goofy, I'm going to take off Charge and put Rocket back on, because aerial attacks from him will be more helpful here. Here's the next boss, the Trickmaster. Want to wait a moment for him to get a bit closer, then jump at him and do a full air combo. While he's down like this, you can keep hitting him with full air combos. Then he's going to stand up. You want to switch to normal 1-2 combos instead. And every time he falls like that, he's going to drop some health orbs. So if you're taking damage, make sure you pick them up. If you're having trouble hitting him, you can try jumping from the table or the chair. Hitting this boss can be annoying because of the high hitbox and the legs, which knock things out of the way. You can use both your spells, but fire can set the batons on fire, which will increase the Trickmaster's damage, and it'll give it a projectile attack, so just be careful with it. When the Trickmaster's health gets low, it'll head over to the stove to light the batons on fire. I'm just gonna switch and health it with a few spells from here. There we go.
What a racket. How's a doorknob to get any sleep?
So whatever we just did was probably pretty important. I guess we'll learn some more about what happened there later. If you didn't pick up the 4th piece of evidence and get Blizzard earlier in the game, then you would get it now. Well, we're done with Wonderland for the time being. So, we're going to head back to our gummy ship. We now have access to a battle level 3 world, but we still have the battle level 2 world to do, so we're gonna head back to Traverse Town, and I'm gonna speed that part up because it's literally the same route in reverse. Now that we have Blizzard, there's one extra item we can get. Now, let's look at this chest. Secret to opening it. Maybe I can just hit these candles. But they'll relight after a moment. But if I use Blizzard and hit all of them, then I can open this chest. For another defense up, which I'm going to use on Sora. So we can look at equipment again. We got an Ifrit's Horn from beating the Trickmaster. I'm gonna put that on Sora. I want the extra AP point now. I'll be giving up some defense, but that's okay for where we're going. And I'll put the Fyra ring on Donald. He clearly needs more defense at the moment. For abilities, for Sora, I can put Slapshot on now, which will be helpful. And Goofy, now we're gonna take the Jackpot ability off and put Charge back on. Jackpot's not really gonna be very useful in the next world we're going to. So we'll just take a quick look at our stats again. Sora's at level 14. We now have the Wonderland section for our journal. And we've got a few new Heartless entries. Let's take a look at the Trickmaster. Let's take a quick look at the Dalmatian section. We've found 6 of them. It's some progress. We'll be finding more. I'm going to save, and that's going to be it for this episode. Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed it, then please like, consider subscribing, share the video with someone. I hope this was helpful to you in some ways. Thank you again, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye.